Hello, that's the first part of Sinfonietta, a piece I've written for 5 trumpets. My name's David John Lang. Well, I got the idea for Sinfonietta when I was in first year here at Adelaide Uni, and I used to play trumpet in the stairwell of the Schultz building, which is this big 12-story building, which is just out there actually behind you. And in the stairwell, because it's 12 stories, it's got this really big echo, and I thought if you got like 5 trumpet players all at once playing in there, that would be quite a cool sound. So I came up with this idea for a piece of 5 trumpet players all on different levels of the stairs, so they couldn't see each other or hear each other very well, but I thought it would sound amazing, and I had to try and work out how to write a piece that 5 trumpet players could play even if they couldn't see each other. 5 trumpets is because because there's 12 levels, I thought if you have 5 trumpets on 5 different levels, there's enough room on either side for audience as well. And I don't know, there's no real reason for 5, it was just a good number. Actually, it's probably because there were 5 trumpet players available at the time, me and 4 others. So I thought, yeah, that's a good number. The idea is the audience sits in the stairwell. They can be on any level they like, but ideally several levels below the trumpet so they get the most of the echo, or several levels above. And so they can hear one trumpet really close and the 5th trumpet really far away, and you get that distance effect. So yeah, there's really several different motifs that you hear in the piece. So at the beginning and at the very end, you get the march music, which is where the trumpet players come in and then leave at the end. And the idea of that is it's just a very bland kind of neutral march. That's what I play. I'm the bottom trumpet part. And then it's meant to sound like a brass band kind of thing, really. It just kind of circles around and around so we can march in time before we separate into our different areas to play separately. So the next bit is the questioning bit. So because there's 5 trumpets, I've basically built it with 5-note chords, which are broken up, so you get the different 5 notes. And each trumpet has one of those notes, and so you get, in the stairwell, you get the distance effect. When we're in a circle, you get the circle kind of effect of going around and around with these 5 notes. And then one of the other motifs is which is a kind of very, very brassy and loud kind of, I don't know how to describe it really, it's written with 3 Fs, so really just very loud and blary. And that's called the evasion, where you're just trying to have lots of fun, play loudly. Anyone can play in their own time. It's great. It's fun to play. You don't have to line up with anything. You just blast it out when you want to. So the one kind of motif which contrasts with all of that is this little quiet, long melody, which you hear several times and right before the end as well. Which is kind of I guess, the heart and soul of the piece, which is where it actually sounds like actually trying to be beautiful instead of just loud. And that's kind of the note the piece kind of finishes on. It has the 5-note chords again, but this time it sounds much more peaceful. And then we march out again to the same bump, 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 bump kind of music at the end, just to leave it as we started. So I've also used a few different weird effects on the trumpet. So at one point, one of the trumpet players gets to... So that's just taking the trumpet apart. I also thought in a big echoey space like a stairwell, you can do things just with breath noises, which could sound kind of spooky, and just the mouthpiece as well. So a few different ideas like that, which makes it a very trumpety kind of piece, because you can't really do that with any other instrument. Yeah, so a lot of the piece does sound like a jumbled mishmash of sounds, but there is this one melody that you hear near the beginning and then it comes back at the end, which is this kind of long, beautiful lyrical tune, which I'll try and play on the melodica just for something different. So that's kind of the heart and soul of the piece, if you like. And when it comes back just before the end, it stops all the loud, noisy bits and makes it a peaceful ending after all. So you get the 5 note chords coming back as well, but this time they're much quieter and softer, and it finishes with a major chord. And then everyone marches out again, just as we marched in at the beginning. So there's no real bar lines because we couldn't really play in time except at the beginning and the end when we're marching together. So we use several different techniques. So a lot of the music just says, play after this happens, like in your own time. There's also a few bits where we have to use like a stopwatch, which we have on our music stand, so we know roughly how long something should last and when to expect the next thing to occur. So it's kind of messy looking music. It looks a bit different from your usual standard notation. Well, thank you very much for listening. I hope you find something interesting in this piece and enjoy the rest of it.